Welcome back to Pass the Aisle. We are here with
Kortney
for another part 2 of the show. And I wanted to bring you back on because we're still getting to know you a little bit. You're the newest member of the team. You're the youngest member of the team. And
we haven't seen you for like a month.
We did see each other last week for the summer, but briefly. You know, the wind was mostly
the wind was.
It was really hard. Yeah, it was super cold. Yeah, that was hard. But it was still good to see everybody.
Yeah,
it was a cool hangout.
So many people showed up. Everybody in the team, right?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah, everyone.
Everybody came.
Nice.
Besides Joseph.
Oh, yeah, Joseph.
Thank you, Joseph.
Yeah, it's been a while, so I wanted to bring you back to catch up and dive deeper into a couple of things that you mentioned to me afterwards, which was we just had a show about parents, and I know we're going to keep diving into parents and how they influence us and stuff. So I wanted to, like, if you're open to it, right, you always if you're uncomfortable or whatever, you just let me know, or that I don't want to talk about it. It's okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't feel any
restriction
at the moment, so let's see.
Okay.
We get the water working.
Let's go.
Oh no, I just can't. I don't know.
Well, this is a safe place to pull out arrows or to just talk about stuff, and I think it helps with everything because I feel like the more that I could understand, Chi's upbringing, and that he was willing to understand mine, we could just communicate a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Like our last show was about love languages and stuff like that. So yeah, I wanted to bring you back on, and you said that you didn't really have the greatest relationship with your mom, or you said, we don't talk or something.
Yeah, it's better that way though. Like now we're closer.
Yeah,
that we're far apart.
well, maybe we can dive into that. Like, why was that? Yeah.
Well, where do I start off?
Let's start off childhood. Let's start
I know.
childhood.
There's so much
How did you grow up?
Yeah.
How did I grow up? Okay, so when I was born, it was me and my sister, and my mom was pregnant with my sister when she got married to my dad, and then they had me shortly after that. Mm-hmm. And then we lived in the upstairs bedroom of my grandparents' house, and then from there we moved to our own place at an apartment in the Korean district.
Oh,
yeah,
in LA?
In Garden Grove? Koreatown.
Wait, what is it called? The small one in Garden Grove.
Oh.
Garden Grove Boulevard.
I know that one.
K-Town. It's a smaller version of it.
Yeah, smaller version.
Yeah, we lived there up to middle school.
Uh-huh. So you've always been in the OC?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Luckily.
OC girl.
Fortunately, I take advantage of it, man. I'm rediscovering it right now.
It's good. We're
Did you know
OC.
Qual? No, I'm joking.
See, just because I'm Vietnamese doesn't mean we know each other.
I'm joking.
You know what's crazy? He is friends with my cousins.
Oh, really?
Because they're the same age group.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised because he knows everybody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess.
Everywhere.
That guy gets around.
Around.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then from middle school, we moved back to my aunt's house in the upstairs bedroom. I think that's when my parents divorced, actually, in middle school.
Okay, so parents are divorced.
Parents divorced.
Okay.
Oh, no. My bad. We didn't move to my aunt's. Oh, my God. My timeline's everywhere.
We're going
Wait,
back
are
to
you
your
the
house.
oldest? I forget.
I'm the middle child.
You're the middle. Oh, so who's the oldest?
Nicole.
Nicole.
Yeah, she's in Texas right now. She got her degree in industrial engineering.
Oh, wow.
So she's going to take care of me in the future. Thanks, Nicole.
So during this time, where was Nicole?
Oh, Nicole was there with me.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. She and Deborah did more with me.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. We lived at my aunt's house temporarily. No. After K-Town, we moved into our own house, which was in the same neighborhood as my grandparents and everyone else in my family. We own like 5 houses in that neighborhood.
Oh, dang.
We're monopolizing.
Oh, shoot.
What do your parents do?
So my mom, she's a bank cleric,
Okay.
right? She helps with the
mortgage? Or
No. She works for schools first.
Okay.
Okay.
So she started off there. Well, yeah.
Yeah. First union, schools first, that
Schools
thing,
first.
right?
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. What does your
And
dad
then
do?
My dad, he does auto body work.
Oh, cool.
So
Does he work
he
in
works
Garden
for
Grove? Or?
himself now.
Okay, he
Yeah.
has his own shop.
Yeah, he's like a free spirit like me.
Oh, shoot. You should bring our card.
You should. Well,
The
maybe.
Honda.
How did you own 5 houses?
Oh no, we don't own the house. It's just different members of our family. I'm just saying, like, because we're all family.
Yeah,
they
you're
just-
all there.
They just
Okay.
want to be closer together,
I
right?
guess.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what happened, right? Like when refugees come over from
Yeah.
Vietnam, like they want to stick together,
Yeah.
right?
Because they were all split apart and stuff.
Yeah.
It's very similar with my family.
Right.
They're all
all
took
here.
over Yorba Linda.
Hey, that's not a bad place to be in.
That did happen with my family. It was like two families came over here. One came from the Bay Area and then moved down, but we were still like 30, 40
But they all
minutes
congregated
apart.
in Guam, so they're all there.
No, I'm talking about here. Like we're the only family out here in the States.
Oh, maybe you're the oddball.
we're the oddball. Yeah.
It was Guam.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it was the Guamies.
okay. So continue on.
Okay, after K-Town, we moved into this new house, and then from there, my parents decided to divorce. That was in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
And then so we let my dad keep the house, and me and my siblings all moved over to my aunt's house, which was 3 houses away.
Mm-hmm.
So not a problem at all.
And your aunt is related to your mom, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's actually my grandma's sister. That's how the house we live in. I just call her my
Oh.
aunt because it's easier.
Okay.
I guess it's great aunt. Is that the
Great
right term?
aunt.
I
don't know.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great aunt. Grand aunt.
So, like, was there a reason why you guys would live with your aunt and not with your dad, or?
Not your mom.
I actually never figured that out, but we didn't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I didn't. I'm not. I can't
How old were
speak on
you when
behalf.
they divorced?
I was in 7th or 8th grade. So
Okay.
what age is that? Like.
Like
12?
12, 13.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Man, that's young.
Yeah, that's young.
Yeah.
How old was Nicole then?
She's
during
2
that?
years older than me, so 14.
Okay.
Okay.
Still
Ish.
young. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we actually had a younger sister, Charlotte. She's born in 2003. I'm 1996. Math for 7 years apart from me.
That's
Oh,
pretty
wow.
good.
She
That's
was
pretty good math.
probably 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
Math.
Okay, so she was
Okay.
really young.
Yeah.
Well, 12 years old. How did the divorce affect you?
You know, surprisingly, it did. I don't think it. Okay, if it affected me, it wasn't in a negative way, more
Yeah.
in a positive light.
Huh.
I turned out right. Can we vouch for that?
You know, you're funny because I asked the same thing.
She
with
asked me
Kevin.
the same thing.
And then I was like, so don't you feel anything about
Yeah.
the separation or whatever? He's like, no, I didn't care. I was like,
Ew.
what's wrong with you?
Same.
Oh,
I was, about around the same age. Like 12, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then he's like, I don't think it affected me. Well, they'll let you know. It was like that meme where like the house is burning and he's like, I'm fine.
they're just sipping.
I was like,
Right.
okay.
Like Pirates of the Caribbean.
We'll
just
come
walking
back
down
to
the
that.
You know, we're gonna pick at it today.
street. Yeah.
I just think it's interesting because I mean, I'm sure it affected you.
Yeah.
But when
Yeah.
Because she grew up with parents that are together, so it's a little different.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think I would always see that like other kids having divorced parents, and I was like, man, that sucks. Like I don't really know what that means, but if I didn't have my dad around or if I didn't have my mom around, even though they weren't like my mom was really strict and all that stuff. So, but even if I didn't have that, I think I would still feel quite sad, like to just have them there. So
Yeah.
how about for you? Like just to come home to both of your parents and then maybe that was gone now. Like how did you deal with it?
Oh, I guess one thing I didn't share was my mom was working all the time from, the normal Monday to Friday, 8 to 4. Probably that's a rough schedule. I don't know. I don't
9 to
do that.
5-er?
I'm
Yeah.
not that
9 to
that
5.
lifestyle. Yeah, 9 to 5. And then my dad, too, was working at a company. And then after that, my mom would be so exhausted from work, so she'd go to her bed and sleep.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't really interact with my parents that much.
Yeah.
And then I remember on the weekends we'd plan out like going to a theme park, and my dad, he would prioritize hanging out with his friends, and so he'd completely forget the next day, and then my mom would be pissed off saying, you forgot you don't care about this family. So we wouldn't go
yeah.
anymore.
Oh, okay.
So
I
it was
see.
something like that.
So plans would be made, but then getting kind of like disappointed that the plans didn't work out.
Yeah.
I see. That sucks. Not being able to
Yeah.
do the family time. Like with him, same thing. Is like we never did any family time stuff.
What do you mean?
Like they would try to go, like not even try, but like they just didn't even have the time to even think about any family
Oh,
trips?
me growing up.
Yeah.
We never took a vacation. I never took a vacation with my dad ever.
Yeah.
So-
Was it because he was working?
He's always working.
Yeah, always
and
working.
he's still working till this
Well,
day.
both of your parents are working,
Yeah.
right? So you guys are really similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a hard
Similar.
worker.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure if that's all the Vietnamese culture that they just like to work, because over Vietnam they all own their own business.
I know they're
Yeah.
all entrepreneurs.
So they
Yeah.
all hustle, and that's like a part of their lifestyle.
Yeah.
So
I see.
I'm not really sure when they came over here and what, they just kind of did the same thing.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, when you're over here, I'm sure they have that like hustle attitude. Is that something that they imparted on you, and that's why you're like a wedding photographer now, and you want to run your own thing and your own business?
I never thought of it that way.
Really?
But my family was they're full of entrepreneurs, right? I had my aunt who was doing photography, and then my other aunt who sold rotor parts for cars, right?
Yeah.
You know that? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's random.
Yeah, and then my other aunt who opened up a baby boutique, and my grandpa who did sheet metal.
Oh,
right?
cool.
Yeah.
That's a big industry.
I know. Yeah. So we were just always.
Is that still around?
No, he actually sold the business now. He's just retired.
Oh.
So most of your family's here in the States then?
Yeah.
Oh.
We're all in the same neighborhood.
It's still the 5 houses all in the same row
okay,
or
maybe
something?
it's not 5 houses, maybe more than that. But if you're
it's
in
more
the
than that.
area,
More
I'll give
than
you a
that.
little tour. Like if we just walk around the neighborhood,
snap.
I'll be like, yeah, that's my grandma's house. That's my aunt's
You have the
house.
keys to all of them?
No.
and then you were telling me that you just like whenever you want pho or whenever you want some good food, like you can just go to any house.
Yeah. Or if I need an ingredient, hey,
Yeah.
have sugar.
That's dope.
Oh,
Yeah.
so each home is specialized for
Get that
certain
star
ingredients.
Yeah. But okay, the thing is, living across the street from my grandma's house when we were at that house my mom and dad bought. Oh my God, she would come over all the time. And yeah, just regulate, helicopter. Like, you guys gotta clean up this.
I see. But that's what a mom does, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So during that time growing up, like, so who was family to you? Like, who were
So-
you
Good
guys?
question.
I
Yeah.
was mostly surrounded by my mom's side of the family.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
right now, I just rediscovered that my dad's side of the family is kind of really fun to hang out with.
Yeah. That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I don't know where I'm getting with that. Yeah.
But growing up, like, you didn't depend on friends being like a part of your family, or
okay, that's where we're getting at. Okay. Actually, I took this from my dad with hanging out with friends more, right? Versus
see.
family.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until college that I finally realized, family's here forever. And
We
then
grow up.
Yeah, and then with my friendships now, I choose quality over quantity.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. So how many like close friends do you have now?
I would say like it's around 5.
Yeah.
Like
It's really
immediate
small
ones.
now when
Yeah.
you get
Yeah.
when you get older.
I know. Like I tell my friends, you only know if you're a good friend if I respond to you really fast. If you're not on my list of responding fast, then you know. Yeah, that unfortunately I have to admit that. If you're not on my close friends, I will not respond that.
It's true. I mean, you
It's
make
true.
time for what you want to participate in, right?
Yeah.
Like if it's
Yeah.
important to you, make time for it. So, okay, so you're now like, when did the relationship with your mom start to get rocky? You say you started to be a helicopter mom.
It was just living with her the entire time. Sorry, Mom.
but you haven't figured it out why you didn't live with your dad or
Well, my dad was kind of more fun. He wasn't family oriented. Like he spent time with friends.
Yeah.
Right. And he would always have people come over to our house and they would just drink.
Oh, I
And
see.
just talk. And my mom wasn't into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where they disconnected there.
I see.
But with my mom, when we finally lived with her, it's just she's the type she preaches something, but she doesn't practice it herself. So we found it unfair, me and my siblings. And she likes bringing home work with her, work drama, and she would always rant. Like right after she comes home, she doesn't really hang out with us. She goes to her room, she naps, or she's on the phone with a coworker complaining about work. So it was a lot of negative ball of energy, and I knew I didn't want that in my life. So
Yeah.
thanks, Mom.
That's interesting. My mom's similar.
Yeah, but where are people supposed to vent?
Yes, that's important too. I think
I know, but my mom vented all the all the time. There was like, dang,
Yeah.
it's worked out
That's
wrong.
true. Like, when we talk about venting, right? And we should have a safe place to vent. We should have a place to, like, I don't know, let off steam or complain or whatever, and be human about what we experience every day. But then, like you were saying, there's this negative ball of energy that kind of like follows a person around. And it gets really like, I would be frustrated. I would almost take it personally that I was like, man, can't you tell me something good today? Like you have this intense focus on everything that's bad. I'm like, please tell me something good today. And it's kind of selfish, I think, now that I think back on how I used to think about that. And I still fight against that thought where I'm like, can you tell me something good? Like, I'm not really hearing or listening to the pain perhaps. And that's why this person, which is like, say my mom or anybody who's like been a chronic complainer, they haven't felt heard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would think. And I'm like, because I would think back to the times where I would keep bringing something up. And it's because I feel like you're not hearing me. I feel like you're really not understanding or empathizing with exactly what I'm going through. And it feels very lonely. And I was like, man, that sucks. Like, I feel like that's how maybe my mom maybe feels when she complains about work. It's like nobody's really understanding or empathizing or being compassionate.
At her work.
Like, no, like with us or like with her complaints and everything. And I'll be like, why don't you just get a new job? Why don't you just quit? Like, to me, it's
not
like,
easy like that.
it's not easy like that, right? Because they have their own way of processing what's possible for them or how they perceive themselves and what's successful or what's the right thing to do. And I think like that generation, like our parents' generation, is like, you just suck it up and do it. And it sucks. I don't know. Is that experience for your mom? Like, have you ever tried to talk to your mom about like, hey, can you be more positive or something? Or can you tell me something good? If you just keep bringing this negative ball of energy, like I don't really know how to react to that. And like, it kind of brings me down too. Have you ever tried to tell your mom that?
I have not tried to tell her that because I was just too young at that time to understand like what it was exactly or why she kept bringing it home with her like that.
Yeah.
There was not that much communication between us. So,
Yeah.
When the adults saying, oh, you're too young to
Oh, okay.
know about this, because, right, I was only in middle school or just beginning high school.
So from middle school on, you didn't really talk to your mom then until now?
Well, we didn't have like a close relationship, right, aside from, daughter, do this. Clean the dishes. When I come home, I want the house to be clean.
I see.
Something like that.
So it's just really, really strict?
Yeah.
And she was strict to all your sisters? Or
I would say so, yeah.
So everyone was pretty equal in the home? Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So no like good times, no good memories? It's all strict stuff.
I try to think.
It's hard to remember when you're young.
I know.
You only remember the bad things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yes. Mom, I know you've been a great woman. I turned out all right, thank you.
Yeah. This is not a like, my mom's so bad.
Yeah.
This is understanding and trying to kind of just reflect on, okay, like maybe there's something in me that's lacking because I have not given myself permission to discuss what happened when I was young. Like with us, it's been so helpful to just sit and talk about it. And it's not a blame game. Like I had to go through a time where I had to forgive my parents for a lot of stuff. All the things that I felt that hurt me. And maybe it did hurt me or whatever. But really, did it hurt me? I think it helped me when I came to realize it. I'm like, oh yeah, like for example, with Kevin, he's like, well, I had to do everything on my own. And maybe that's why I'm so ambitious. And that's why we have this company, right? And I can attribute that discipline to like our success. And so you can't have like a perfect childhood. That's not really my aim. It's like, oh yeah, you didn't have perfect childhood. But I think that's a good thing. It taught us character and stuff like that. So for me, it's not a blame thing, but to kind of like discover, okay, that's maybe why I look at things a certain way or feel certain things about a certain way. And then I want to be able to just like dissect it a little bit.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, that's interesting. Not to be like, oh, screw you. Like, you did this to me. Like, no, it's done, right? Like, and if you have a good life now, you best be thankful for it because it's part of it. It's part of your upbringing. Mm-hmm. But I think emotionally we've done a really good job of like repressing a lot of stuff. And so, that's what this show is for, is just to kind of like
let it out.
Yeah.
That's why. Oh, okay. And to give you a new perspective, or maybe even heal some wounds and pull out some arrows from your heart and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, actually, with your talk right there, it got me thinking about the good times with Mom.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Actually, she would make the effort to come to my award ceremony or my games. So I was in basketball and track and field, so she would come to see the games.
Yeah.
And I remember in elementary too, she would show up on my birthday with like food, like Jack in the Box and this mint shamrock smoothie shake.
Shamrock shake.
Yeah. So she'd bring it and make me feel special on those type of days,
Yeah.
And I actually practiced that with my younger sister. I remember she was in 6th grade and I brought her food for her birthday too.
Yeah, that's cool.
So thanks, Mom. And because of you, I'm a clean freak too.
Well, that's cool. So I'm still not hearing where things kind of like went terribly wrong. I feel like every mom is kind of like helicopter mom at some point. And then there comes a time when you grow up and then they go, oh, you're all right. Mm-hmm. And the only reason why they helicoptered you in the first place was because they just want to make sure. They just want to make sure you're going to be okay, right?
What do you mean by helicopter?
Helicopter mom means like hovering, like always on your case, like micromanaging. Mm-hmm. Like you're a helicopter dad. Okay. You're like, oh, why you go right here? Why you do that, right? Like that's you. That's a helicopter. And I'm like, don't micromanage me, all right? See the big picture. That's what helicopter is. Yeah. Mm-mm. So when did it like start to fall apart? Can you pinpoint it? Not fall apart. Am I over exaggerating?
Yeah,
I was like, like what would prompt you to say that to me? We don't really talk.
Well, it's just a difference in mindset. So like I said, my mom was she's kind of like a Debbie Downer. And then I'm more on the positive end. And sometimes I'd actually get really sassy with her and be like, you don't have to talk to us that way, with an attitude back at her, because I see how she talks to me and my siblings. Mm. And I know she doesn't mean any harm, and it's like in the heat of the moment that she talks to us that way. Yeah, I don't know. It just carried on. It just built up, Yeah.
So a negative attitude, kind of like, and then every time you talk to her, it's like a negative thing.
Yeah.
Got you.
But it got better now.
Huh.
Like you kind of almost assume that every conversation with her is going to be negative. So you're like, so used to it that
now?
you're
like what now? What now?
So
right?
you're just like, nah, I don't want to hang out because I already know what's going. Like what you're going to be talking about is just negative stuff.
Yeah, that was back when I lived with her. So after college, it got fine.
Yeah,
but I was known as that girl whenever I had my friends over, like, Kortney's mom is scary. She's very straightforward. She's blunt, and she will tell you off. She's not scared to sugarcoat it. Yeah. Even if your friends are there, she doesn't care if she makes a fuss.
I see.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's how like ferocious she can be.
Okay, so tact. Okay.
Yeah.
But what about with you? Like your friend's not there.
I say the same way. I mean, yeah. Okay. Actually, here you go. I don't know if you grew up this way, but parents use force, or they got physical.
Okay, you got spanked.
Yeah.
There you go.
I see.
Yeah, I think when I was young, we would always have to gui, right? We kneel against the wall and face the wall, and then they get the broom and smack my ass. Right? But one time in middle school, she took it too far, where she took this really thin stick and she smacked my thigh, and it bruised up my entire leg.
Wow, yeah.
I remember, like, oh my God, this is like the worst thing she's ever done to me. Like, I'm going to call child protective services.
You knew about that?
Yeah,
when you were young?
That. Yeah, I'm like, I have an
familiar.
abusive mom. Yeah, but there was that imbalance. Okay, so in middle school, I was really into playing computer games. Me and my older sister, Nicole, like, we played video games. That was our thing. So we'd stay home, play games all day. Yeah. And she'd have a problem with that. So what I did was I hung out with my neighborhood friends outside then. And then it became too much for her. She's like, you go outside too much. So, she never... I didn't know how to satisfy the woman.
Yeah, I see. It's like nothing's ever enough.
Yeah.
I see. There's no, like, balance.
Well, that's crazy. Like, she's the one that did all the spanking, all the discipline and stuff. Like,
yeah.
And your dad was more the fun one.
He was the fun
free
one.
Yeah.
And he didn't have any say in your upbringing?
Okay, well, he does in a sense. Trying to think.
There's always the fun parent and then the disciplinarian.
I know.
Until they both turn disciplinarian.
So with my dad, we'd go on fishing trips together, right? And then go camping and such. So that was fun. And there was times where he'd be in charge of picking me up from school in high school, and he'd forget me. So I'd be waiting for an hour and be like, hey, Dad, where are you at? He's like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Because he's the fun one. He's thinking about other stuff.
Yeah, and he's always busy. He's like sporadic, too. So he'd forget me at school, and I feel neglected from there. Oh, there you go. That's one of my traits. Neglect gets me. If you neglect me, I'll like you. If you give me too much attention, go away.
Interesting.
There you go.
Interesting.
That's an interesting thing.
See, I love that. Like when you can discover like, oh, yeah, like my whole IBS thing. I had no idea that it was attached to me not feeling supported or feeling neglected, right? Because in 6th grade, I didn't tell you this story, but in 6th grade, I basically shit my pants, right? Because I was having an IBS problem in 6th grade. And then I was so embarrassed that I couldn't even, like, I had to call my mom, and I had made up this lie that I had thrown up, or somebody had thrown up on me or something. It's like, that doesn't make sense because you smell like shit. So I call my mom and I'm like, can you bring me clothes or whatever? And then when she got there, she gave me the clothes. I changed, but she didn't ask me like what happened. Or if she did, I lied to her. But it's like, as a mom, you'd be like, no, someone didn't throw up on you or vomit on you. Like you smell like crap. Like what happened? Like, or just making it feel like it's okay to tell me the truth. Right. And so then I learned, I was like, I'm on my own basically. Like it just felt like very alone. Like I couldn't tell anybody. And then since 6th grade, I didn't tell anybody until last year, until my chiropractor, a random stranger who I could feel comfortable with. She's like, you know, you don't have to tell anybody, but just write it down. And then like I wrote it down, and then I actually wrote down the same lie because I had been telling myself this lie, and I believed the lie for some strange reason. I was like, I'm just going to keep writing. And then the truth came out in my writing, and I was like, holy crap, I think I had repressed this memory for so long. And then I figured out, oh, it's because I felt neglected and not supported, and then I was keeping it a secret. So when I started to tell everybody, I started to feel a lot better. And then I think I'm still on my way to getting better and feeling true support from people because I still feel like ashamed and stuff. But now that I could tell you that story without feeling so much anxiety, like I remember when Tony, he was like, what happened? What really happened? Did you really shit your pants? And I lied to him because, and I didn't really know I was lying. I was just like repressing the memory. And then I was like, holy shit, I did shit my pants actually when I was writing it down. And so I thought it was really like just revealing. I was like, whoa, that's cool. So maybe there's something there to like go back and look at things in the past. And if you can heal some of those wounds it's really irrational. Like, why couldn't you tell anybody? Oh, I was embarrassed. Like, is that really a big deal? But in your own mind, it's a big deal. And then it starts to manifest in all kinds of ways. And now I'm dealing with it. So, but I'm getting better. But like, that's why I want to, investigate this a little bit with you, like, and just make it a safe place that it's okay to talk about it, or it's okay to just discover stuff. Mm-hmm. And then whatever you do with it, like, I think I feel like it's always going to be a little bit more better, or feel like lighter even, just to not carry it with you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I don't know.
Do you feel you carry anything with you?
I feel like no. I don't feel like, okay, let me say that calmly. I don't feel like I'm carrying anything. Mm-hmm. But if I am, please come out. Please come out. I mean, because with my mindset, I'm grateful, right? For what even though my parents weren't there that much for me growing up, or it was like negative vibes and not a happy home with a complete family. Yeah. I don't see it as a bad thing at all, because I'm here today and I feel like I turned out all right. Like, I could be doing worse things, Mom. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Other things that I don't do.
Like your mom will watch our podcast.
I know. But just in case she does, like, sometimes she reads my blog posts where I reveal stuff about her, and then she gets really hurt about it.
Oh, really?
But I say it not in a bad way.
Does she text you then, or like?
Yeah, text me or she tells other people in my family, and then I have to hear it from someone else.
Oh.
So that's the thing too with our communication. She doesn't tell me straight up.
Yeah.
But I gave her a heads up. I'm like, hey, Mom, I'm writing this blog post. Here is the snippet of it. She didn't reply. She ghosted my ass.
Dude, that's interesting. So I reveal a lot about my, personal life on the show. I try to be as open and as honest as possible. And I always have the pressure of my parents always listening to it. So I always feel like there's sometimes when I want to reveal and talk 100%, 110% transparency about what I feel. And there's always this nagging feeling of like, your mom is watching, your mom is listening. And I was like, I don't want that to be a bad thing. Like, I just want this to be a safe place to discover stuff. And I feel lately that I've been even more vocal about like my upbringing and then comparing it with Kevin's. And then we talk about it in a safe space. Like, I almost feel like we are not as close as we used to be because maybe things are being revealed, and then she'll listen to it. She's probably listened to it most likely, but she won't tell me that she listened to it. And then like the next conversation that I'm on the phone with her, it's very tight-lipped, Wow. I can just tell like there's so much that she wants to say, and I'm like, you could tell me. And I feel like I told you on the last
maybe because they feel like, hey, this is like out to the world, so everyone knows me now or something.
Yeah, and it's not to bring judgment upon my parents. I always try to preface that when we talk about parents, like, dude, look at our life, all right? I am not complaining. At the same time, emotionally, I want to discover for myself. Every
person that I've been working with, like every videographer that comes up, they're like, hey, I watch your podcast and everything. I was like, oh, cool. So it seems like you don't even have to introduce yourself to this new person that you never met. They like already know you. And I'm like, cool, you already know where I'm coming from.
Yeah, but with the parent thing, it's like, we should feel safe to talk about it. That's how we grew up. Nobody talks about shit.
Yeah.
I want to change that. It's like, why does it have to be so bad to talk about it?
It's like your life story. Like everyone has a story, so share it. Not a lot of people get to share their story. And usually you'll see their stories being in movies and stuff, but it's just one famous person's life, right? Mm-hmm. So this is cool to be able to pull out arrows and, just tell your story.
Well, it's not a show, it's real work.
It's therapy.
It's therapy. It's real work that we're doing, like to discover, what does that mean, or what is that actually doing in my life? And it's not to create blame, but I think parents have a hard time of maybe just seeing that they come from a different generation, and it's so hard for them. But like when I talk to my mom, I'm like, there's so much you want to say. I know. I'm like, my door is open, like, but she doesn't walk through it. And that's okay. Like, I used to take it personally that she didn't walk through the door with me. And I'd be like, why don't you just talk to me? Or why don't you just let it go? Or why don't you just do this? It's like if somebody said to me, why don't you just get over your IBS? It's all in your head. It's so insulting. It's like, you have no fucking idea what it really means to be shitting in your car because you're having a panic attack. That's what IBS is. And so I think that's what happens with parents maybe when they have the opportunity to be open. They're like, so many alarms start going off and it doesn't feel right or it doesn't feel comfortable. And like I had to go through a time where I was like, I forgive my parents, and I have to keep forgiving them because you're always kind of judging people in general based on your own growth. You're like, well, I could do it. Why can't you do it? Like, why can't you just talk to me and stuff? And but they have to have their own journey. Is that something that you went through with your mom, or are you going through it? I think I asked you about it like at the beach, because we talked about like a little bit about forgiveness, and I think too on the last show.
Yeah, now that I'm older, I have more of a perspective of like how things are. Because when you're young, they're right. You actually don't understand much.
You don't know
the whole
shit,
dynamic of what's going on.
Yeah.
And so now that I'm older, I'm more mature. Like, everyone's just trying to go through their own shit. Yeah. But it definitely did help being away from my mom. because, it makes you miss
Miss
each other
them,
in that
yeah.
sense. And then when you do have your time together, you make the most out of it, right? You don't want to be remembered anymore as being that negative person.
Yeah.
You
How
know?
was it like, you went away to college, right? To Santa Barbara. You lived out there, right? So you didn't see your parents much.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, when you finished college and you're able now to be a little bit more free with your schedule, did you go and see your mom again more?
No, it's still the same. But it's okay.
But so how is it when you go visit her? Is it like,
Oh, it's like neutral now. Like she's so geeky and nerdy now. Like she's like, I'm gonna go get some Pokemon on Pokemon Go or play some sorts of
What?
games. Yeah, she's
Really?
actually really nerdy. She likes playing games.
she plays Pokemon
Yeah, if
Go?
you go to her little loft, she has all these pop figures. And,
Oh, geez.
Oh, snap. We'll
and
get
she's
along. We
obsessed
got
with
pop
Game
figures.
of Thrones. If you see the sticker on her car, like it has the, what is it? The wolf sign, Stark. The Stark symbol.
The Starks, yeah.
So yeah. Yeah.
How funny. That's cool that she has like other hobbies.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's awesome. I wish my mom would have some hobbies.
Yeah.
Maybe she'd be a little bit like less focused on the negativity
maybe gotta
at work.
introduce her
Maybe
to
she
things.
does have hobbies, but she's
Just
not
haven't
saying
discovered it.
I always wanted to ask her like, I'll ask her on the show, like, what did you want to do? What did you want to do when you like? I had no idea. I had no idea that I wanted to do what I do now, and I think I just fell into it. Now I think I really want to roast coffee, but for the longest time I was like, I don't know what I want to do.
Yeah.
But I think when you're, again, from that generation, you're hustling, you just got to do whatever you got to do to survive or just make money that's like stable and stuff for your family. Like you don't ask yourself, what do I want to do? No, like there's no luxury. There's no time for that luxury to ask yourself. So they just do it.
Do it
Like
for
your
the
mom,
income.
like I just did it. I just followed your dad. Like it was her idea, but then she was just like, I just worked.
Yeah.
I didn't ask myself what I want to do. I just have to make money, and that's it. And like everything else kind of falls to the wayside. Like our relationship in the beginning was like, we just have to make money. We have to be successful in our business. And then
It's just like most kids that go to college, they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm trying to figure this out.
Even after college, there's like a lot of people that still don't know what they want to do.
yeah.
Just
How about
take it step
you?
by step.
Now that you're out of college, you've had some time to dabble. Do you still want to be a photographer? Like, what are your passions? What did you really want to do?
Well, I've always liked being creative. I mean, I'm just taking every day step by step if I feel like I'm being challenged and I'm excited about doing what it is. Like me facilitating for Japanese high school students next month. That's exciting to me and kind of scary.
Yeah.
Leading class for 5 hours.
5 hours
shoot.
straight?
Not 5 hours straight. What's the schedule? 9 to 12 and then 5 to 8.
Oh, that's the school day for you.
Yeah.
I see.
For 5 consecutive days. So
Wow.
That's a lot.
I know.
That's a lot of talking.
So yeah, if money wasn't an issue, right? What would you love to do?
Oh, I'm already doing that now. Dilly-dallying, right? Setting my own schedule every day.
Okay.
Not on the 9 to 5. See, if that's what I was doing,
Yeah.
then that would be like, I'm okay with money.
Okay.
It's just all about the balance,
Yeah.
because I know people 9 to 5, they're like, I hate my life. I never go on vacation. But at the
yeah.
same time, when you're freelance, you're like, oh my God, I have to set my own schedule and be on top of it, deadlines.
Yeah. We prefer it though.
Yeah, I like it too. I
Yeah.
like it. And also something encouraging I tell myself after college, I'm like, with the science technology, our lifespan's going to get longer. Therefore, retirement age is going to be extended.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Retirement age is 65, I think, right now. And I'm 23. That's like 40-something years of working.
Yeah.
Like, I have enough time to get my shit together, And
Yeah.
right now is the time to be chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're so young. Yeah. 23, right? Just turned
Yeah.
23.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can be chaotic till you're 50.
Really? Really?
My uncle's still working and he's 72. Like,
Oh my God.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, with the whole parents thing, like, your relationship now is still how would you define your relationship now?
It's not hostile.
So you would describe it hostile when you're young.
Yeah.
Mm.
Distant when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right now it's still kind of distant, but is not as negative.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can hit up my mom whenever I need help with something. Hey, car insurance expired, or this happened to my car. Or what's my bank routing number?
Oh, like regular basic survival stuff.
Yeah, I ask her about those things.
But you wouldn't ask your dad for any of these things.
Yeah, my dad is more like, Dad, my car broke down on the freeway. Please help me.
I see.
Okay.
So
Isn't that funny how you know which parent to go to for certain things?
Yep.
You know, like there's certain, and then there's certain things like with my dad. I don't really need to talk to him, you know. But I'll feel guilty if I don't call my mom,
Wow.
and just be like, say hi.
Because you want to help your mom. That's why.
Well, not only that, but I know that she wants it, or maybe she needs it too. You know,
needs it more than your dad.
She needs to hear me like, how's your day, or how's work, you know, like, or try to listen to her more. Like, I feel guilty if I don't. So I always make it a point to like more so call my mom than call my dad. Like when my dad comes, hey, what's up? Like, you know, we're really similar. So I don't need you to call me all the time to tell me your life story. Like I'll see you when I see you, and it's all good. But then with my mom, I feel like if I don't call her, I'm not being a good daughter. So I'll try and just make make nice chit chat, you know, keep her updated, even though I know she listens to everything. I still I think it still matters, like this unsaid thing where like, oh, you called me. Like you're still my daughter. You're still showing respect almost, like to tell me yourself instead of hearing it on a podcast.
So who takes care of your younger sister now?
It's my mom. So
Okay.
sister's out here with my mom down the street.
Oh, so she goes to Eastville
Yeah.
High School, like around. Okay.
Holy crap.
Oh wow.
She's really young then.
Yeah.
How old is she?
I think she's going to be a sophomore this year.
Oh, okay.
After this summer.
Yeah,
Oh,
not
wow,
that bad.
okay.
7-year age gap.
Like me and Jenna.
Does she? So you're probably. Is there a good connection between you and your younger sister?
So we weren't. It got disconnected when I went to college, of course, because I wasn't there watching her grow up in her. What age was that?
Middle
Probably
school?
or 6th grade.
Middle school, elementary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I missed out on that. And I think that's like, I think one of the important ages actually is like when you're in elementary. That's what almost sets your personality and how you are going to be.
Yeah.
Just gonna say
That's interesting that you
I
say
think it's
that.
really important.
Because I was a super loner, and that's why I'm like super loner now. No, but I like it like that. Like I really enjoy my alone time, and then I really like just hanging out with Jenna. Like we would hang out. Like when she got older and she wasn't biting me all the time, like
Yeah, or you're getting in trouble.
or drawing on all my drawings and like messing up my
Yeah.
room and stuff. I was like, but when she got out of that phase, like we started to play together, and that was the first time I had a playmate.
What's the age gap between you two?
8 years.
8 years? Okay.
So it's
Yeah.
the same.
Wow, I can ask you about things then.
Yeah, ask
Does,
me.
does she even follow you now? Like, does she ask like to?
My sister?
Yeah.
So, from what I hear is that she really admires me. Which is
From
good.
what I hear.
I hear from other people. Yeah. I'm the more social sister out of the others.
Yeah, you're definitely more social.
Yeah. So I guess she thinks that's cool. I don't want to toot my horn.
You can too.
Yeah. You can too.
Oh, I guess some other things too. Like when she went to school, right? She would say, "Oh," like her friends would talk about like your sister's with Kortney. Like they would talk about me in that way.
Oh,
you know, like
you're
my older
like-
sibling knows Kortney something, you know,
Uh-huh,
like
uh-huh.
word of mouth something.
Yeah.
My name goes around.
Oh, snap.
In a good way, I hope. I'm
You know
not
it could.
that bad. So yeah.
That's kind of cool. You have that like older sister vibe thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, me and my siblings are actually reconnecting again too. Like the three of us all went to Texas to hang out with each other. With Nicole.
Oh, how
that's
was that?
Cool. How was it?
How
It was
that?
really fun.
I didn't
We
know
all
your other
got to meet
sister went
together.
with you.
Yeah, Charlotte went with me, and then we were staying at Nicole's house, and Nicole just wanted to take us around everywhere.
Aw.
She had that older sister responsibility, like,
Yeah.
I need to take care of you all.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then Nicole got lonely after we left, so she actually flew Charlotte out there 2 weeks after. So Charlotte's in Texas again.
Oh, wow.
I had to go pick her up this week.
Oh, shoot.
That's cool. It's nice that you're all women too.
Yeah.
You
so
know? You guys ever talk, chit chat about parents? You ever do that?
yeah,
talk?
we always get frustrated with my mom. Yeah, actually, now that I think of it, like you two are making me think more deeper now.
Yes,
Right?
I want you to.
I feel like I'm closer with my mom now. Like my dad has been giving me mixed signals lately.
Why?
So he knows I'm a freelancer, but the thing is he doesn't respect my schedule whenever I'm actually busy.
Yeah.
So he accidentally knocked up this woman, and now he has a 6-year-old kid or 7-year-old kid.
Holy
Oh,
crap.
wow.
Brother. And so whenever my dad needs to do work, he'd call me and say, hey, can you please do this for your brother? Like watch him or pick him up. And be like, I can't, I'm sorry. He's like, and he would guilt trip me. His response would be like, fine, next time you need anything, I'm not going to help you.
Dang.
He said
wow.
things like that. He's like, okay, I'll walk home. Like if he needs me to pick him up.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm busy. I'm like driving somewhere for a shoot right now,
Yeah.
or a meeting.
Yeah.
So he'd always make rude remarks like that towards me, and like it gets me so worked up when he does
Yeah.
it. Like I start tearing up in the car after. Like,
Yeah, heck yeah.
like
Wow.
that's
That is
messed
so
up,
mean.
dude.
That is
so
messed up.
mean.
I know. Like, and I asked my aunt about this, and my mom like, why is my dad an asshole like this? They're like, dude, he's always been like that. You just never seen it. I'm like,
Oh. Hey, when you learned
Oh.
that, did you sympathize more with your mom after the divorce and stuff?
I just recently learned it, so I'm like, oh, I see now.
Oh, I see.
Also, there was a culture clash between them. My mom's more Americanized. My dad is very Vietnamese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My dad's English is not that good.
Yeah.
I see.
So there was that, and he was a jealous guy too. Like
Oh.
whenever my mom had to dress nice for her work, right? Because you're all for show in that
Yeah.
business of banking.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, "Who you seeing, huh?" Or you know,
Who you
but I
seeing at
never
the
seen
bank?
it.
The bank.
Who you seeing at the bank over there? What the fuck? What kind of question is that?
The security
I'm
guard.
seeing myself some George Washington's and Benji's.
I see that Benjamin.
Well, yeah, one thing me and Nicole witnessed when we were little, when we lived at my grandma's house, was them arguing, and it was so big of a fight. Me and Nicole were just hiding under the blanket, and they were just right in front of us. And my dad got so mad at my mom, he punched the TV and broke it.
Oh God, I thought you were saying punched her.
No, he never heard her like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess.
That's
I don't know.
scary. That's
I
scary. When you
Yeah.
Just throwing out random things.
break stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so he can be, his temper can be crazy.
Mm.
But most of the time, he's like calm. But
Yeah.
when he's pissed, he's pissed.
Yeah.
So he's the silent
Yeah,
storm.
The silent
my
but
mom
deadly.
is just full around the entire time. Like sometimes, like we just get unfazed by it. Me and my sibling, like okay,
Yeah.
mom's just mad.
Yeah. I think you learn to kind of, I don't know, build up a defense, tolerance,
yeah,
or
like, oh, okay, you're used to this behavior.
yeah, that sucks. It sucks to be used to it, right? I always wonder, like, is it I would be like, I want to help my mom, right, to find her voice. I thought it was so helpful when I found mine. And it was partly because I have a really good partner. And another is because I really just, like, trained myself. I wanted a certain life. I wanted to be able to speak freely.
Yeah.
Like before you knew me, I was just really, or way before you knew me, I was like really, 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 really quiet. Like, didn't say anything, just a wallflower, very passive, very weak, I would say. And then now, like, after all this, and I've discovered this like inner strength, and I feel like I see that in certain people, and I want to like, oh, I want to help you pull it out, or I want to help you discover it, because I feel like so much is more possible now when you do that, when you can actually, if you find it within yourself, now you can go and create the world that you want to live in. And so I see that like so much in my mom, and I'm like, oh man, I just like just take that just one step. It's like one step at a time and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, then I would think, is it my job to do that? Is it?
I know having,
you know what I mean?
Like, I can see from her stance, like having someone your daughter,
Your
feel
daughter
like they
telling
need to
you?
help you. Yeah, I would be
Like,
offended.
It's offensive, right? And so, and I remember even when when my dad was asking me about his marriage, and I was like in we were early in our relationship, but I felt like I was hot shit because before we were even married, I felt like, wow, I found something really great. I felt like we had a really good relationship. Little did I know we had so much more to work on. But like during that time, I think I said something to my dad and he freaking snapped. He snapped at me and I was like, ooh. And then I was like, man, next time I'm not telling you shit. Like, I'm not telling you anything. It feels so uncomfortable you asking me for advice. I'm like, it's like, I don't even think it's my place.
Yeah.
So even when I feel things like that, I just like, I don't know, you figure it out. But like, there's something in you that wants to help, that wants to be like, oh, this is my perspective. So now I always kind of change my tone. I was like, well, this is my experience. I'm not going to give you any advice.
Yeah, you can take it if you want.
This is just my experience. I'm just going to share what happened with me, but hell no am I giving you any advice or anything like that. Like, I don't know anything. So now I don't take it as a part of like, I guess, because I used to be like, man, how could I help my mom? How could I do that? I'm like, actually, it's not my job. It's not my job to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But when I let that go, I could stop taking things personally. Like every time we would get to the point of like talking about something really deep and personal, and then I see her kind of like change the subject really quick, and I'd be like, oh, we were right there. Like, you're right there. You're about to like let your walls down with me and stuff. Now I feel like, oh, it's not my job. That's her own thing. And that's her own journey, and that's her own, like, how she wants to run it, and that's her life, and I shouldn't judge it or look down on it or even be frustrated with it. Just be here. Just be a support. But so I'm still discovering, like, what that even means. Like, so when do I go in and share, or when do I press, or when do I encourage, or when do I walk away, or whatever? Like, it's kind of weird, but I don't know. That's kind of like what I'm going through right now with the whole mom thing.
Mm-hmm.
So with your dad, like, do you hate him for what he did?
I don't hate him.
I mean, like,
I just get frustrated that I know he needs help, and because we didn't grow up with him, you know, I feel like we owe him too, me and my siblings.
Why do you think you have to owe him?
Oh, you know, he's the father, right?
You don't think it's backwards? Like, shouldn't you owe me? You're my dad. You should be looking after me. You should be taking care of me.
You know, he actually helped me out when I was little and wanted to go to the movies and be like, hey, Dad, I need money. So, and that too, like, he helps me out with vehicles whenever I do something stupid, like get into a car accident and don't want to go through insurance, so he fixes both of our cars.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a hookup right
yeah,
there.
That's a big one.
Yeah. See? So
I'm talking about emotional support.
you're right. He's not there emotionally. Oh my gosh, whenever I want to delve and like get to know my dad more, he's like, you ask too many questions. Like, why do you need to know this stuff?
Your parents are so straight up, man.
I know. So yeah.
At least my parents have tact. They'll just be like, they'll just stop talking to me.
So do you guys ever plan vacations together?
It's hard now that he has a kid. But I've been going on vacation with my mom.
Yeah.
Oh.
We went to New York. We went to...
Oh, at least you guys
Where did we
are
go?
traveling together.
Yeah, Vietnam.
Yeah.
And we're trying to... Nicole's inviting us over for Thanksgiving, all of us.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Nicole wants me there for 2 weeks
Yeah. Wow.
during the holidays.
Are you happy? Your expression.
Isn't it usually busy over there?
Yeah.
For you too? Yeah, it's really busy for me at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I'm like, Nicole, that's a lot of money. I'm losing out on.
Actually, our December is pretty wide open.
Okay, December's free. It's just November leading.
Yeah,
up to
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
November
It's
is
crazy.
always busy.
Yeah. November's
Yeah.
really crazy.
No, September, October, November. That's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we have 5 minutes left.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I think the point of this is like I feel like we didn't really like, I don't know. I think we discovered a lot.
Yeah.
And there's a lot on the table basically, and now it feels like there's a lot to like figure out. Oh, what is this? Like, oh, okay, this goes here and this goes here. Like just organizing thoughts and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's what this is for. It's like just to start the conversation and open the door. I think that's the most important thing. And then to not judge what's going on. It's like, okay, cool. Like now I can see it, versus like ignoring it, or like what I always say, sweep it under the rug and then like never talk about it again. And like it feels so like unsupportive, or like, no, it's a secret. And I don't like carrying secrets. It's really heavy, and it manifests in a bunch of crap that you don't even know is related. You're like, oh, that's why. So, thank you for diving deep with us.
It felt short, actually.
You want to go deeper? Yeah, I felt short.
Yeah, well, we had a little warm-up period in the first. We had to dig, we had to kind of pull you a little bit.
Admit, like, I couldn't remember. Maybe it was swept under the rug.
Well, we're well in practice, like we just go for it. We're just like, did you feel all right? It was okay? Nothing too uncomfortable there?
No, nothing uncomfortable.
Okay.
I hope I don't offend my parents. Love you, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, parents, don't be offended. Like, I think I think what we're doing is just discovering. We have the luxury to discover stuff.
Yeah, my dad just discovered iPhone, so I don't think he'll ever be able to open up this app or watch it.
I mean, it's a journey, it's a progress, and I think I'm just open to whatever happens. Like, at least have the opportunity to talk about it. It was so taboo before. It's like, I don't even want to act, like, and you don't even know why, and you only have to get a look from your parents to not want to talk about something. Just a look, and it's like, what is this? Nazism? Like, let's be a little bit more open. Let's be a little bit more forgiving and just talk about it and then move on. Because it sucks to have these arrows in your heart that you don't know are there sometimes. And then, like, you look or do or see or, your relationships, how's that manifesting there? We didn't even get to that point. We didn't even get to that conversation. Like, there's so much with our parents that has influenced our marriage. For good and for bad.
And then it influences everything that you do.
And everything that you do.
Like, the business ties in with our relationship.
Even how we found you, Like, I feel like it's all connected. So I think it's an interesting topic. It's not always fun. Sometimes it hurts and stuff. But, like, it's definitely interesting to reflect and go, oh, that's where that comes from.
Yeah.
So...
Well, it's cool. I mean, you were saying, like, the laws of attraction, like, you attract a certain person in your life, or you attract a certain team member into your business. Yeah, it's like there's something that all makes sense. There's a puzzle that you have to figure out.
I'll say this too, okay, for our closeout. I read in a book somewhere, and I believe it fully. Your parents are kind of like chosen for you. Because the lessons that you need to learn in this life that you're living now, they're there for a reason. There's something in you that needs to learn something, and your parents are there to challenge and support, or even for some not even be there. But that's the challenge. That's the lessons that you need to be learning in this life, and whether you rise to the occasion is kind of like up to you. So that's how I think of it. Like, you chose your parents in a way. Like, that's you have those parents for a reason, So I'm very grateful for that, and no blame to my parents or anything. We love our parents.
Yeah, we turned out all right.
Yeah,
I'm very grateful for the life that we have and the team that we have and all that stuff. So that's my closing statement. Can't be mad. Can't be mad, Mom.
Yeah.
Don't be mad. Don't hate it. Anything else you want to share, Kortney? Anything you want to broadcast on the show?
Hire Kevin LeVou Weddings.
Oh, dang. We've never done that.
Never done that.
Well, I got to beat you to something.
Well, thank you guys for listening in here on Past the Aisle. Thank you, Kortney, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You can find us anywhere there are podcasts, and we're on YouTube as well. And you can follow Kortney at Kortney Pham, Kevin at Kevin LeVou, and me on at the LeVous. We will see you next time every Wednesday here on Past the Aisle. See you later.
Later.
Thanks for tuning in.